Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. So in this video, I wanted to read a few precepts going into how this world war that's about to take place is going to be fought with thermonuclear missiles, a fire that's going to devour this whole place, and mainly here in Babylon, but in also various parts of the world. Because once those missiles hits, there's going to be various countries that are going to counteract with their missiles. And now all these other heathen nations are able to go toe-to-toe against Esau Edom. They all have the capabilities and the technology to actually shoot back at this place. And so they're going to all basically shoot all of their payloads at the enemy, Esau Edom. And so this right here is basically the final plague that's going to hit Babylon the Great, because of all the wickedness and whoredoms that it's done. Just as Sodom and Gomorrah was taken out, the same manner Babylon the Great is going to be taken out. So I want to start off and reading this in 2 Ezra 16, verse 1. It says, "Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto the Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourself with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." And this place right here, Babylon, its iniquity has reached unto the heavens. Its tab is overdue, and it needs to be paid. And so with that, this place is going to get hit with the biggest plague, which is that thermonuclear fire that the Heavenly Father once sent on Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be the same type of energy, the same type of fire that's going to destroy this place. And in verse 3 it says, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" Because none of these missile defense systems are going to work. Once these arrows are shot out of the silos, there's no turning back. And all the energy and money that they're putting to do a missile defense system, it's futile. Because the fact that all these other heathens have all these technologies, it's only going to hit this place. And these heathens are also boasting about their advancements in their technology. You got North Korea flaunting their technology by shooting missiles over Japan, showing their capabilities and their reach. And also the Russians, they have the Satan II missiles, the ones that go hypersonic, the ones that basically break the sound barrier. So there's literally no way that they're even, if possible, can turn back these arrows, because ultimately it's the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, who's showing his power. He is the Lord of hosts, Allah Shadia, terrible demon-like power. And so he's going to showcase his power by having all these heathens shoot their thermonuclear missiles onto this place. And so I'm going to read from verse 3 again. It says, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" The answer is nobody. This is going to be a strong arch that's going to shoot. For strong is the archer that bends the bow, which is basically the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. There's no type of defense that this place is going to have when this missile gets shot. So from verse 4, to showcase that this sword, this arrow that's going to be sent, is one of fire. Verse 4 says, "A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it?" And even when these missiles hit, this place is going to be such a smoldering pile of ash that nobody is going to be able to inhabit it. It's going to be irradiated. And the only things that are going to inhabit this place are doleful creatures, able to withstand that type of wilderness. So no one is going to be able to bend or push back the arrows once they're shot, and no one's going to be able to quench this place. There's nothing that's going to bring Babylon back once this is done. And in verse 5 it says, "Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away?" It's not only the missiles that are going to befall this place, it's going to be all of the plagues that were spoken about in Egypt that are going to happen again here in Babylon, and rightly so. So in verse 6 it says, "May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it hath begun to burn?" May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? And the answer is no. Once the arrow is shot, nothing can make it stop except once it hits its target. And so in verse 8 it says, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? And so the answer to all these questions are no. The Heavenly Father is being facetious with this. He's being funny because he's just going to show forth his strength. And so we got other chapters going into the specifics of it. And I just, picked up a few precepts going into this. But you can go into Isaiah 34, read the whole chapter of Isaiah 13, and it goes into the detail, how the skies are going to be rolled as a scroll from this destruction. And so this right here, just to get to the point, I'll read in Isaiah 13, verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. And how the Heavenly Father is stirring up the minds of the elites of these heathen nations, because they're all in the palm of his hands. He is the chess player here. He's the one who's dictating what is going to take place and moving all the chess pieces to the valley of Yehoshaphat. And so he is stirring up the Medes, which that is the land of the Russian place in modern times. And so he's stirring up those people, the Medes, to basically not regard their silver or gold. Whatever type of tariffs or peace talks that these people are trying to do, it's going to come to naught. They're not going to regard any of those things. And in verse 18 it says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eye shall not spare children. And a while back, Vladimir Putin, the prime minister of Russia, he was basically saying of all these things that are taking place, the civil unrest between America and Russia, Putin basically said to the population of America, like the women and children and the wives who have babies in their wombs, that he's going to shoot these missiles to the elites of the American government. And the people, the civilians, they're just going to be caught in it. So this is what this is what Putin was pretty much emphasizing and saying to the population of America, that they should basically go to the governments, the governors and the presidents, and tell them to back off from Russia. Because that whole thing that happened in the Ukraine, that was America, overstepping their boundaries, which that's basically just Esau, Edom. He's going to do that. And through prophecy, that's how this is all going to boil down. And if you go into like the details of that Ukraine war, which that the whole thing was basically just a stage for the Heavenly Father to showcase his power, because he's making these heathen and the Edomites go toe-to-toe against each other. And they're breaking a whole bunch of decrees and peace talks and treaties that they had for when the Ukraine, it used to be part of Russia, and now it's not. But now America is over there overstepping its boundaries. And it's just another piece of the puzzle that's going to lead to World War III, is that whole thing that's happening in Ukraine. So now the Medes are stirred up for the things that this place is doing. And they're not going to regard the gold and silver and the peace talks that America is speaking about. And they're basically, like how Putin was saying to the population, that you guys should be complaining to your leaders, because he's going to basically push that button. And he's not going to regard the women and children or the fruit of the womb. So I'm going to continue this on in verse 19. It says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. And it just goes into the details of how this place is going to be so desolate that it's only going to be doleful creatures roaming around here. Ain't going to be no humans, no Arabians being able to pitch their tent here. And that's the type of destruction that's about to take place in this place. And so with all that getting, get understanding. We are blowing the trumpet in Zion, sounding that alarm in our holy mountain to gather the elect out of this destruction, out of the impending doom, I should say. And this is in Joel 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And just to emphasize it says, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble. Because not only are we preaching this good news to our nation, the so-called Blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, who are the real Hebrew Israelites, which pertains salvation, but only to the 144,000 of that multitude, we are also setting our face against Mount Seir and telling all these heathens what's to come. And in verse 20, it says, a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, there hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. So once this deal is done, it's done. This place is never going to get back up. And verse 3, it says, a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. And this is basically speaking about how America is this really great big nation. Even before Esau Edom stepped his red foot here in this land, the Gadites and the Issacharites, the Naphtalites, all of the northern kingdoms who were living in these lands, it was pretty chill. It was nice and beautiful. You had a certain type of exotic birds that used to roam around the Americas. Now, once Esau Edom set his foot in this land, you got nothing but traffic, highways, fracking, getting all the gasoline out of the ground, and just a whole bunch of turmoil and destroying the land. They're chopping all the redwoods, and a lot of the birds that I kind of referenced, that there were tropical birds that lived in North America, are extinct, meaning they're no longer making their migrations here. And that's all due to Esau Edom. He's literally the harbinger of death. Wherever he goes, death follows. And so this place used to be like the Garden of Eden. And it still, to this day, has sections where it's like Yosemite National Park. You can see the beauty that the Heavenly Father made here in America. But he also did that all around the world. It's just to emphasize this place was once a big, flourishing land, but it's going to come to naught. It's going to be destroyed with a fire, and it's going to be so bad that nothing shall escape it. So I'm going to continue on to another precept. This is in 2 Peter 3. So we're seeing like a picture right here, the vision, how this place is going to be taken out. America being destroyed with this fire. And so in 2 Peter 3, I'm just going to jump to the point. This is in verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So these places are going to be melted. And there ain't really a lot of things to basically have here in America. You got like the Hoover Dam, the Golden Gate Bridge, whatever type of monument that this place has and built, the Heavenly Father is going to throw down. Just as it says in the scriptures, how the Esau Edom is going to build, yet he's going to throw down. So this place is going to be burnt with a specific fire. And I read precepts going into that in the book of Joel, the book of 2nd Ezra 16, the book of Isaiah 13, and other various precepts that I'm not going to bring out. But you can see basically that this is all speaking about the culmination of World War III. And the last precept I wanted to read is in Zechariah 14 and 12, so that we can get this very beautiful vision, a picture going with this prophecy. And so from Zechariah 14 and 12, it says, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouth. And this fire that's going to happen, it's going to be like those movies where you see a person get hit with that thermonuclear fire, that fallout, and that destroying wind. It's going to burn the eye sockets, and the tongue is going to melt out of them. And that's the type of fire that is going to be dealt here. That's the power that we're dealing with. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. and he means business. And this place, because of all the wickedness, because of they fought against Jerusalem, as it says in this precept, that's really the main reason why. Because this place has taken the Israelites and held them captive, and for the affliction, and touched the apple of the Most High's eye. Therefore, the punishment is required to be this grand. And so with that, hopefully you were edified and you get this nice vision that we're about to see. Lord's will we make it and endure through it, and can see it actually front wheel seats in the fathership, in the chariots being delivered with Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rakal Kodash, and Shalom Akim.